basic conclusion is this: the more you pursue spiritual, right?
Well, those people.
I was reading a book, and it talked about a young man named Eric. I think his last name was Stagno. I can't quite remember. I think that's it. But Eric, early 30s, up in Massachusetts, I don't think he does anymore, but he had a membership at Planet Fitness up there. And he went in one day, and right behind, I don't know if this is true in every Planet Fitness, but right behind the counter, they have this big poster on the wall that says, "No Judgment Zone." And Eric decided to put it to the test. He came in, he sat down his bag, and he took off every piece of clothing he had. Totally naked, he went over and picked up a yoga mat, and he laid it down and he started doing the stretches to get ready for his workout. Well, as soon as he did this, people behind the desk called 911. The cops were there pretty quickly. And according to the reporters who were talking about what happened that day, they said between the Snickers and everything else, the cops said, as they hauled him away in handcuffs, nothing but handcuffs. As they hauled him away in handcuffs, reportedly Eric said, "I thought this was a no judgment zone." Right? Well, obviously that's not what Planet Fitness means. Can I play off that a little bit? When God says stop judging one another, He's not saying there aren't any judgments to make. Let me just go a little bit further, simply because I think this is so misunderstood. The classic passage is in Matthew chapter 7. In Matthew chapter 7, the very first verse, a lot of people can kind of quote this or at least paraphrase it. Jesus says, "Judge not that you be not judged." That's kind of King James right there, right? But stop judging one another, right? And then he goes on to gives the illustration that a lot of people remember. Why are you concerned about the little speck in your brother's eye when you have a log in your own eye, right? But usually people stop right around that part of the discussion, and they don't continue saying what Jesus goes on to say. What Jesus goes on to say is, go ahead and take the log out of your eye in order that you might do what? Take the speck out of your brother's eye. Oh, wait a minute, I thought we weren't supposed to judge people. What Jesus is saying there is you be careful how you judge. You know why? Because there are some things that we really do need to get in other people's lives, especially our brothers and sisters, if it's an issue that God has already talked about. If He said this is what you're supposed to be doing, and we see a brother or sister who we really love, and hopefully we're developing this love for our brothers and sisters, and they're not doing it in their life, somehow, some way, it's my responsibility to help you. Right? I'm not going to be able to do that if I've got a lot of issues in my life and I'm not working. I've got to get the logs out of my eyes so that I can help somebody else. But at the end of the day, if God has said something, those are non-negotiables.